are out of control, when to go upside their backsides, when, all of that stuff is a big part of leadership and being the head. Everybody wants to be the king until it's time to do what kings do. Everybody wants the crown, everybody wants the robe, everybody wants the palace, everybody wants the bricks of gold and to be able to tell people what to do. But you have to slay giants also. You have to lead your family in prayer also. You have to develop them also. You have to love them past their means of brokenness, love them past their mistakes. All that stuff comes with being a leader, and most men don't go into marriage with that mindset.
So for the men that did go into marriage, and I would say, I don't know if I would say the vast majority, but I would say there's a good big chunk of men that don't know what they're doing as a husband and as a leader. Like what hope is there for them if they weren't taught and they're still not learning?
What do you do?
What do you do?
Turn the TV off. Turn the TV off. Turn the game off, and you have to find the leadership, because you can find some good people that you can follow, that you can learn from, community, men's group, stuff like that. And then you learn from that. Iron sharpens iron. You know
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing, and you develop yourself that way too. So if you're out reading books, don't just read a book because the job says, hey, this is a book from a great leader. Like, who is this leader? Before I go read his words and his actions, who is
Right.
this person? How is their relationship? Do I want to follow a Steve Harvey, being that Steve Harvey, doesn't mind you knocking the heads off your babies? Do I want
Mm.
to follow a LeBron James when LeBron James is as soft and soy latte as they come? He has millions, but does
Right.
he have the leadership? Everybody wants to run around calling themselves king, but it's different when you have to be that. And so you need to look at who you follow, who you attach yourself to, who you listening to. That's how you get it. You have to learn. And you have to empty yourself of some of the stuff. You know what I mean?
So for the okay, but for the men that maybe that they think that they're already good leaders, but
Ask your
they're
wife.
that's what I'm saying. For the wives that know that their husband is not a good leader or not a
Hmm.
good husband, but the husband thinks like, oh, I'm good,
I'm
I'm
that
great,
dude.
right? What can what should the wife do to like
Well,
snap him out of it?
punch him.
Oh my gosh.
Nah. So there are a number of ways you can go by. One, you want to treat your husband like he is royalty. That's the thing, because he can be changed by your behavior, by your conversations, by the way that you treat him. That's one. So you want to respect him. If you're not respecting him, but you're trying to give him advice, problem.
Mm,
But if you want him to change, and you're snapping and going off on him and all of this, he's not listening to any direction or advice or support that you're trying to give him. He's not going to hear it.
yeah.
But if you are still kind to this man, and you're saying, hey, you know what, I bought you this book as a Father's Day gift, or sending him videos from somebody that is highly respected in that sort, or just putting your husband in position to make decisions. Hey, babe, we're really wanting to get more knowledge in this particular thing.
Mm,
Um, can you give us some guidance and let us know what we need to do for this?
okay.
And put him in position to make those decisions, and then he should seek out answers for this stuff, and
Mm.
develop himself.
So basically, put the ball in his court
Put the ball
gently.
in his court.
Just roll the ball to
Yes, don't give him no bounce pass and knock his little chest off.
just slide the ball to his court. Okay. All right. Cool. I'm sure somebody will find that very valuable.
Well, I hope so. That's what we do. Now, since you're gonna ask that type of question, I
Okay.
have a question for you, lady with the good hair.
Okay.
So, why is it now, the modern day, why is it such a challenge for women to be submissive to their husbands? Ha.
Okay. Touche. Fair. I think most women did not see the example like growing up. I don't think a lot of women saw the example growing up. Um, as far as what it looks like to be respectful to a husband, we see a lot of disrespect. We're entertained by disrespect. All the reality TV shows and stuff like that, we love it. We're just so entertained by it. Like, oh, be quick at the mouth, be loud and aggressive. That's funny. Yeah, that's entertaining. So we just like adapt these things growing up, and then we apply them in our marriage, and we wonder why our marriage is trash. We're not respectful wives. Our husband feels like doo doo all the time. We're not taught to build our husbands up and to encourage them and to help them.
Oh, wow.
And then also, I cannot think of any church, sadly, I cannot think of any church except for ours, that teaches for what's in the Bible where it says for wives to be helpers. Like, that's literally what Eve was created to do. Like, literally. Like, exclusively. To be a helpmate. And we don't see ourselves as helpers. Or I do, but a lot of wives don't. And so I think if they had a mindset shift into like what their role is, I think they would be more, just less trying to wear the pants in the marriage.
And so some women look at that as, oh, that's less empowering, because what about my goals and what I want to achieve in life? What do you say to that?
I think people, first of all, the word empower, I'm so sick of this word. Everybody just calling it, just sticking it on anything that they want just so they can have an excuse to do whatever they want to do. And that's not the case. I think if you have if there's something that God wanted you to do, like let's say he wants me to teach and work with children, which I've always felt that in my heart. He wants me to teach and he wants me to work with children. I could assume like, oh, I'm supposed to be an elementary school teacher. So, you do your thing. I'm going to go do mine because this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But that's not the case for us. I know what your purpose is, which is helping marriages and leading people biblically and stuff like that. And while I feel teaching and children still on my heart, I can apply that in a way that still helps you in your purpose.
That's deep.
So it's not me going off and doing my own purpose and you doing your own purpose and we're going opposite ways. We're still on the same path. I'm still a helper to your purpose, but I'm still operating. And the children that I'm helping are our own children, okay? They don't have to be somebody else's kids.
That's amazing. So I see that too. And I tell people in the dating space, one of the key ways to know if this is the person you should be with or the person you should marry is where you going. Ask a man where he going. And if he says, hey, I want to go and be a rapper and shoot up everybody in my music videos, probably not the guy you want to go with, you know what I'm saying? Because you may get astray, you know? But if this guy has a clear path, like this is what God has for me to do. And we're not talking about somebody's job,
right? Not
your job. We're talking about your work. You know, you have a job working at whatever, Amazon. That's cool. That's your job. But what is your work? Why are you on the planet? Why did God put you here? I need to know that. And then if that lines up with what God put me here for, then we have a beautiful thing coming. You know what I'm saying? That's a great thing. But oftentimes people let their job be their work, you know, and they say, oh, well, I work here. Oh, and I work here. We'll make a great couple. No, you won't. You know what I'm saying? Or I have a job here. And that's a great thing. We're going to make a lot of money. You being a nurse, I'm being a doctor. That means we should be together. That doesn't necessarily mean you should be together. And then you end up traveling in two different directions. And then you have usually the woman who says, I want these goals for myself. That's not what marriage is designed for.
Right.
You know, Eve was created to help Adam with what God had created him to do. And a lot of women and feminism and the devil has come along and said, girl, go get do you, boo-boo. And a lot of women have started to do them. And they may have success in politics and they may have success with Tyler Perry movies and all this stuff, but they do not have success in marriage and with their children. And that's a serious thing.
Right. And
Yeah.
I think, like there's a lot of unique things about, I mean, obviously everybody, but about like me. Like, I love having a creative outlet to create like graphic design and photography and like all this kind of stuff like that. That doesn't mean that I can't do those things. Like, there's plenty of ways in our ministry and in our business that I'm the person who does all the graphic stuff and all the
Mm-hmm.
photo shoots and all the stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still using gifts that I
The
was
stuff you
given
enjoy.
or that I have learned in our ministry and helping you with your purpose,
Mm-hmm.
which is also my purpose to help you. And again, like the teaching thing, I'm teaching women to mothers, wives, women, how to have a better marriage, stronger marriage, and be a better, stronger mother, which is what the Bible says for older women to do anyway, to teach younger women all
I think
these things.
people, or women, talking women specifically, oftentimes will feel like they can't live out their joys and what they love to do because they get married. And what that does is make marriage the enemy.
Mm.
Said, hey, I
Mm.
wanted to do this. I wanted to help people. I wanted to be a nurse. No, you just wanted to help people. You don't have to be a nurse at Baptist Hospital. First, start help your kids.
Yeah.
The the divorce rate for nurses and doctors is astronomical because you spend so much time helping everybody else,
Yeah.
not helping your family, not helping you. Help your neighborhood. Be a pharmacist for your neighborhood. Be a doctor for your neighborhood. Start there. And you say, well, I don't get paid as much. Well, then say that. The thing that you want to be is paid.
Mm.
And if you want to be paid like that, if you want to be paid and money is the motive, money is the mission, then that's fine. You can have that, but don't act like helping people is the mission.
Mm.
That's a different thing. You know what I'm saying? And if money is the motive, money is the mission, then you'll do anything for the money, including divorce. So
Mm. Sheesh.
did I say that out loud? I'm saying,
Bars. Okay. We hear you. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that's important. That's important stuff.
Yeah.
So, question for you that came from one of our followers,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't like the word followers. I like
Our
a member.
community.
Yeah, a member of our community.
There we go.
Was she was about to get married, and she wanted to know what things can she do to prepare for marriage, and she was about to get married in 2 months, I think it is. So,
Yeah.
what would you say?
I would say, this is a woman, I would say learn as much as you can about one, marriage, the design for marriage, the purpose for marriage, but what it looks like in the Bible to be a wife. Like, what is a wife supposed to look like? Not that you necessarily have to perfect it before getting married, because there's a lot of things that you won't learn until there's a lot of scenarios that won't happen until marriage, that's when you'll learn from. But at least reading the introduction, or the
Yeah,
preface of what to expect and how you can prepare to be a better wife, going into the marriage.
good stuff. Good stuff. I also say too, just to be completely open to everything, right? Because it's all new. Marriage is completely new for you. So be open to changes. Now I'm with this man, and he likes this or dislikes that. Same thing
Mm.
for him. I know we're not talking from the man perspective because she asked the question, but just get into that too. For him, how to lead, right? So if he's going to be a
Right.
leader of this family, and he's always led a certain way, you have to be open to um, rerouting that way of leading too,
Mm-hmm.
because you're learning about each other. Learn that she responds better to this, but when I yell at her, she goes in the corner and she cries. So you
Right.
probably shouldn't yell at her then, or whatnot. Or she can learn that, when I'm angry at him, I just don't cook for him, and that's my way of getting back at him. Be open to learning and navigating through the marriage that way. And one thing that you always say that I really appreciate and I really agree with, and so powerful, is that we are in battle together. We
Mm.
go together to battle. We're not each other's enemies. We're not competing with each other. We're competing with everybody else.
Right.
And when you do that, certainly, we know this more than anybody, the enemy will send all types of people to try to come and attack our marriage, attack that, we were young, attack our past when I wasn't the best husband or whatnot. They attack all of these type of things, or what about this when you said this or that? They do that all the time, and we understand that, and we tackle those things from a spiritual aspect, sometimes physical, whatever. But we know that we are on the same team, and I think that's so important going into the marriage. That look, we gonna ride this thing, and we going out together. You know what I'm saying?
We enter the battle back to back.
That's right.
Watching each other.
That's right.
Not face to face.
That's right. She throwing the grenades, and I'm the sniper guy. Staku.
Right.
So, and we help each other put on the whole armor of God at the same time too, man. So yeah, going into marriage with that's a good question too. Good question. So I like that.
That's a good mindset to have before you even get married. If I would have had that mindset before marriage, we probably could have skipped a couple years of trials.
Oh my goodness, man.